Так, всем привет! С вами Нафиса. Вы на моем канале. Всем приятного просмотра. Продолжим версия 4.0 4.4. 4.4. Только что я достижение получила. Так. Так вот отсюда уже видно, да? Другой конец. Я еще вон тут не было.
The first time we came here, we even brought offerings and everything. And when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Still, Paimon's got some snacks around here somewhere, so if she really wants something... Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye? Whoa, what a pretty lady! Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer? Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country. Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Want to go up to her and say hello? Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Paimon's got this. Hello. Paimon is Paimon. Paimon doesn't think we've met, but we're also friends of Cloud Retainer. Maybe...
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has the shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird? But you look... human! How did that happen?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities. As for your confusion, one merely had no reason to indulge such inclinations before.
So, you're indulging now because...
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor. Taking on a human form for such a trip is simply a way to make matters less conspicuous.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place. In fact, Paimon can think of several examples. Like last year, when you suddenly appeared on the top of a roof without any warning. Or...
Ой, у Паймана очень много вопросов.
Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all.
Особенно, когда
Most
неожиданные вопросы. Нет, неожиданные случаи. Из-за них у нее так много вопросов появляется.
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else.
That kind of makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Anyway, where were we before you reminded Paimon about the gifts? Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. Shenhe and Ganyu should be quite pleased to see you again. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here. You have cause to seek one's company?
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We were hoping you'd tell us one of your stories. Who knew we'd run into your human form while we were at it?
Is that so? If there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu is likely still working at Yuehai Pavilion, so that shall be our first stop.
Sounds great! Then let's all go to Liyue Harbor!
Это разве Лиюи? Они сказали, поехали в Лиюи. А в итоге они уехали куда-то. Так, я здесь была. Привет. Пайман, привет. Линь Юань, что ты здесь делаешь? Не могу попасть внутрь. Попасть внутрь? Куда ты не можешь внутрь? В покое Карпа. где вот отдыхает Фуцзин. А зачем к ней в спальную пойдешь? Покоя Карпа, куда Фуцзин нас приводила. Это обитель, запечатанная ее силой адептов. У меня нет ее силы, поэтому я не могу попасть туда. Что? Но ты не упоминала об этом до того, как она ушла отдыхать. Забыла. Поздно же ты спохвасталась, Лазур. Да, как ты могла забыть о столь важном факте? Ну, правда. Это потому, что я зверь, мыслящий медленно. Видя ее, я думаю о много, но и много забываю. Но у меня вина. Сила адептов, которые вы обладаете, достаточно, чтобы открыть ворота, покорив Карпа. Мне нужна ваша помощь. А погоди-ка, как ты все это время ждала нас здесь? А я не ждала вас, я ищу путь в покое Карпа. Похоже, что почти одно и то же. Что же, мы тоже немного обеспокоены состоянием Фуцзин, поэтому нам не навестить ее вместе. Хорошо, спасибо. Идите за мной. Так, заставная что? Чё? И. О, достижение прилетело. Давайте-ка сразу покажу. Уединенная тропа. Вернитесь в покое Карпа. Так, вернитесь в покое Карпа. Так. О, это начальное место. Пойман и Лин Юан, вы все пришли сюда. Почему? Ого, это голос Ву Цзин, и он доносится оттуда-то снизу. Лин, Лин Юан немного волнуется за тебя. Нет, Да, Лин Юан так беспокоилась о твоем здоровье, что аж едва могла говорить, поэтому мы пришли сюда, не предупредив. Но ты же так же сделала в свое время, поэтому Пойман думает, что мы в расчете. Простите, когда я вернулась сюда, чтобы отдохнуть, и я, кажется, забыла открыть проход. Мне очень жаль. Вы пришли сюда, чтобы увидеть меня, а столкнулись со столькими сложностями. Это было не так уж и сложно, но почему ты прячешься в луже? Как бы сказать, я пока не могу вернуться в ту форму, которую предпочитаю, поскольку вы всегда видите меня в образе карпа, я не могу не чувствовать себя немного неловко. Нет смысла прятаться. Мы же уже видели тебя много раз, верно? Но раньше я могла превращаться в человека, когда захочу. Поэтому я думала, что двигаться в облаке карпа — это вопрос удобства, а теперь я могу быть только рыбкой, поэтому мне немного странно, что ты так упорствуешь. Ну ладно, главное, что с тобой все в порядке. Но Лин Юан сказала, что твоя сила адептов не была израсходована, она лишь рассеялась по горам, леса и рекам долины Чиньюи. Вот почему ты так слаба. Если мы соберем рассеянную силу адептов, как во время поискал золотого карпа в долине Яоди, ты восстановишься, верно? По крайней мере, теории, да. Но верно, и поэтому если мы увидим похожих карпов, нам нужно принести их сюда. Так ты восстановишь свои силы гораздо быстрее. Не хочу утруждаться в вас, моя сила уже еще не настолько слаба. Если я здесь отдохну, этого будет достаточно. Нам не сложно. Не хочу утруждать вас, моя сила. Мы будем их высматривать только и все. Спасибо. Однако я не хочу больше беспокоить вас. Вы и так же много для меня сделали. Если по дороге найдете силу адепт, принесите ее в нефтрида. Баланс воды и почвы была восстановлен. Если мы сможем добить большой силы в заветный нефрит, то обеспечим благоприятную погоду и процветание в будущем году. А также я же вам сказала, мне нужно всего лишь отдохнуть. Пойман действительно благодарна и счастлива, что вы решили навестить меня. Впервые кто-то пришел сюда после ухода властелицы лекарь. И тебе спасибо, Лин Юан. Я ничего не заслужила твоей благодарности. Ладно, тогда считай, что я благодарю тебя за то, что ты привела сюда Пойван. И напоследок позвольте еще раз поблагодарить вас, Пойман, за что вы сделали. Подношение за ответного нефрита. О, теперь мы можем так же, как в Сумеру, здесь приносить будем подношение. А, вот оно. Круто. Сразу 6 уровень подняли. Охренеть. Ого. Так, 2, 10, 20, 300, 350. Раз, два, три. 300. 300 каменей стака. 300 тысяч каменей стака. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, 70. Волшебная руда. Опыт игрока. Так, раз, два, три, 4, 5, 6, 6. 6, 1200. Так, вот такая 2 штуки тут. 2, 4. Книги золотые, 2 таких и 2 таких. Ух ты. В следующий раз даже вот таких приплетающих готовую будем получать. Ой. Ну давайте получать. Как приятно. Столько награды. Тырить. 40 штук, да? Озарение. Ну вот. Как она будет выглядеть на карте? Покой карпа называется. И оказывается, здесь точка телепортации есть. Она на карте видно? Вот так, если сделать, можно попробовать. Даже просто так, вот так можно телепортироваться и сюда придешь. Вот она. Так, лошадка ушла, да? Так, все. Разделившая облака парча. Войдите в давно запечатанный покой карпа вместе с Лин Юан. Так.
What shall we do? Gather!
Как приятно копить, фармить камень вместе с этим парнем. Так.
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu...
Совсем скоро мы окажемся в правильной лунного моря. Как думаешь, Гань Юй увидится, увидев хранителя облаков в человеческом облике? Интересно, они с Шанхеем вообще видели в такой, ее такой?
Where did she go?
Как, куда она подевалась? Она вон там, она отстала.
Why are you just standing there,
Хранитель
Navigator?
облаков, что такое?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
О, мертвые голоса. Не следует остаться здесь. А вы идите к ней.
But why? Isn't it better if we all
Но
go
почему?
together?
Почему не пойдете вместе с
If one were to
нами?
proudly proclaim one's presence,
Если
Ganyu would surely profess herself
я
otherwise
великодушно
unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's
объявлю
visit.
о своем
One fears that would only result in
появлении,
her staying up all
Гань Юй
night to make up for
бросит
lost
все
time.
дело, чтобы оказать мне подобающий прием, а потом ее придется не спать ночами, чтобы доделать
One does
работу.
not wish to
Я не
trouble
хочу ее
her.
беспокоить.
Conversing
Довольно
vicariously via
будет,
you two
если
shall
вы
suffice. Do remember to
побеседуете
inquire as to her recent
втроем,
well-being.
а
Again,
я
do not
посмотрю на
mention
нее
one's presence here.
издалека. Узнаете, все ли у нее благополучно. И не говорите, что я влию ей.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
Да,
Alright, then, we'll just
наверное,
pass on
ты
your
права. Ладно, тогда мы передадим ей
Cloud Retainer?
привет. Хранитель облаков. Все уже засыкали.
Busted.
Она меня
Is
узнала.
that lady someone you know, Miss
Госпожа
Ganyu?
Гань Юй, это ваша
She is
знакомая? Да, извини,
I'm
Гань
sorry, Huixin.
Хуй
But
Син.
could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit?
Не могла
I believe
бы
my
ты
schedule today is quite full.
отложить
Although,
собранный
perhaps I could move some work to
ненадолго?
later in the evening.
Собрание ненадолго. Сегодня у меня плотный график, но час работы можно доделать и ночью.
Not to worry,
Не
Miss Ganyu.
беспокойтесь,
I'll make the
госпожа
necessary arrangements
Ганью.
right away.
Я все
Thank you, Huixin.
успею. Спасибо, Син. Хит-сын. Давно не виделись, Ганьёй. Привет,
brings you here
что
today?
вас сюда
And
привело?
Cloud Retainer
И
too.
хранитель облаков
It's
с
been
вами.
quite some
Давно не
time since I
виделись
last saw you in this
вас
form.
в человеком облаке.
You are quite
Ты
mistaken. One
ошибаешься.
is not
Я
acquainted
не
with this
знаю никого
cloud
хранителя
retainer of
облаков.
whom you
Я
speak.
обычный
One
человек,
is
просто
simply
проходила мимо.
Seems she's not buying.
Кажется, не сработал. Видеть ее насквозь.
that was
Просто
but a
я
simple
решила
test.
немного
One did not expect you to be
немного
able to
тебя
recognize one so easily,
испытать. Не
especially
ожидала,
after
что
so
ты
many years
сразу
of
меня
only seeing
узнаешь
one's other
спустя
form.
столько лет. У нее же голос такой же, как у этой птицы когда-то было, правильно? И любой,
But
может быть,
recognizing
узнает
you is,
сразу по голосу.
my responsibility as your disciple.
Блин, у меня
An apt
голоса сядет
observation.
сейчас,
One was
потому
simply
что
passing by while
много
attending to some
читать не
important
смогу.
business. One
Будет
Wait,
горло
Paimon
потом
wasn't
болеть.
aware of any important... Cloud Retainer's
Лучше
right. We've
пропускаю.
still got something super important to do, so we can't stay here for too long today.
Oh,
Моя
is that
миленькая
so? But it's been
консерва.
so long since we last saw each other.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today.
I understand. That should be fine.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day,
Ну и
one must
фигура.
also remind you. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
Ну вот как они вот так одеваются одежду? Я так никак не могу. Вот такая обтяжка. Я никак не могу.
If you insist,
Я себя буду голой
we are running
чувствовать,
short
если
on
такой
time
обтяжки
regardless,
одевать
so
буду.
one will
У меня все одежды на
Wow.
2,
You've been to so many new
1,
places
размер
since the last
большой.
time we
Даже
also.
иногда бывает 4
Forgive me for
большой.
my presumptuousness.
Всегда
of
висучие
human
одежды
name.
одеваю.
You really think so?
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly.
Can you?
I assume that an adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Oh, that sounds super cool! Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take?
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, although I did not live on top of the drought, the books had this to say. Upon arrival, the Adeptus.
That's incredible.
Mortal records add
Even so, you stopped in. Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect.
How laughable.
That's a.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she
Ganyu.
procured a moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work?
That is a.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been
I see. Most excellent.
Huh? But
Can that wait until after we be.
You may return to your work, Ganyu.
of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler?
See you around, Ganyu! Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
Huh. She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because we just heard that cool story about her powers?
Блин, дед, какой у тебя жопа, блин, тяжелая. Почему ты никак не можешь как бы прыгать иногда? Слегка. Ох. Вот
You get what I'm saying,
Шэньхэй.
right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, eh?
Oh, I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes. Hey, how about
You do it.
Эх, сплетные, сплетные.
No. I think you should. Wait,
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to
What would you like to order?
2 servings of Mora meat to go.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Xinyun.
Master?
Huh?
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such...
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you
You...
Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
And check out the great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon. Are you... The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So, I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends. I'll let you know if things pick up.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Oh.
Leo's really got a lot going for her.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by...
First, I tried to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil...
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence.
I see. Oh, just as... I have missed Master quite a bit, too.
Oh, you did?
Whoa. Her mood...
By the way, Master...
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple, pleasant...
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master?
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh. What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. And oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate...
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils.
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. It is a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of...
To me, they are both Master. One is the Master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the Master that I respect and adore.
Huh. One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit. Yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another...
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Mm-hmm. I'll try...
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill.
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny? But it smells so delightful. Can we really not?
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Ah, well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah, a lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually... Granny, why don't you take us...
Oh, have we met before?
No.
Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you. I want... No, not this again.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people... Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help? Oh, do you... Thanks, that's nice of you to... Actually, her memory's been... They died young. Oh, but it's okay. Wow.
And me?
You're tough too, Gran.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. I remember now. It was a dream.
Huh? That sounds...
It was just a dream, so you know...
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert.
Not anymore.
A younger version of Granny? This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us.
Are you sure? Paimon's Paimon.
Just Shenyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for... Oh, we don't need any payment for this. Thank you. You're welcome. But Miss Shenyun, all we have to go off is that...
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace this.
Sounds like a plan. So...
Why, of course.
Okay, taking that as a no. I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a... If it's true, then... A martial arts heroine? Oh! Shinjo knows tons about Liyue's chivalry.
Are you leaving already?
I'll go order some food, Granny.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss.
Street word rambler?
Precisely.
Food is unbelievable. Eat to your heart's content. Today is my treat. Listen, let me tell you. Try your luck betting on Genshin.
It's you Shinjo! Great, we found you!
That's not a whole... I can't pinpoint her identity.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great... All they knew was that she always acted alone. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss...
Thanks a lot, Shinjo. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh,
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations... You're welcome. To be honest, it's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their life. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too!
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to so while droughts do happen from time to time, the crops withered.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that still. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Sянь and the others. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu.
It's no problem at all.
Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast. We have some new items in.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Straightward, but pink.
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much mora would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
It does not require as much as you may think.
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Xingqiu has a theory, but let's save it for when she...
Do not be troubled, young lady.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Shuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in her attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweet. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over there.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant.
Oh! About that.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus...
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe...
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
Huh? I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated... I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and she put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So, I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met
a pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to...
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first!
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window.
I'll come with.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but... Whoa! Xiao, what are you doing?
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I have indeed.
Oh, wow! What was she like? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive imitation.
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as the Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape, when dwelling between mountain and forest?
After the war, Cloud Retainer, although I do believe there was an occasion...
One believes there...
Granny, are you okay?
Perhaps this conversation, should you encounter any
Everyone! I think Granny...
Slowly now. Calm your mind.
A long time ago, I stayed.
Huh. So what's she...
I don't remember. I was confined to my room in Wangshu. One day, I met he told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, if only I wasn't so useless.
Hey! You're not useless! You've done so much for me. Watch me grow up.
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated. That's all.
The recovery of a person's memories is a great...
Next location. There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, after all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed.
This is order.
Here comes the catch.
Whoa, why are there so many treasure hoarders here? Guess it's time to round up the bad guys. Rust and Reap.
Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha.
Do you remember anything about this place?
Let me think.
Got it.
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought... Ah, yes. I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Oh, thank you. Then Paimon will help herself.
Take it easy. Yeah.
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
Sin? Oath?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu. But you're always going to be different from me.
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here, to try to remember what I had forgotten. All right. Let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Qingyun Peak. Yuandai, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep every...
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top. Oh, such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind.
We're finally... Does this place feel familiar to you?
Let me see... How strange. Have I lived? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go on. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure...
Thank you. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsang? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsang. Mount Outsang.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsang, What am I really?
Mount Outsang holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but
Are you feeling unwell?
My head... It feels all...
Cloud... Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsang.
But...
Fret not. All will. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh!
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium Mech. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia. Its potential uses are numerous indeed.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved time on a lot of floating.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she
Paimon thinks she could...
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism.
Oh, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if...
And you, Yuendai, is... It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of...
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even...
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean... you already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember everything. Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. Oh, don't worry, my dear child. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was...
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face Shuyu. Everyone, I cannot thank you enough.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't...
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is some time ago. I made a terrible mistake.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Jueyun Karst?
I am, in truth, not a human being. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the... Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us.
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt, but I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time...
Oh no. So that was... Was it because of...
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet, I did not want to...
Oh no, what happened?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked... I was convinced that she would not support my decision, but that was only the beginning of my troubles. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
Granny! What's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills as...
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world...
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for... One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One...
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But...
Perhaps it is... One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses. In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only, as one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise? Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night. Make way for the Adeptus! Those monsters would hardly have One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. To see you happy, that was more than enough. Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait! But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Just as you and I troubled one with... Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a truant. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, you and I was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, perhaps fate brought you to... Now all has been revealed. One owes you, and one has always viewed you as a disciple of equals. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who live through them. Would you not agree? Even if the
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, 'tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode.
Thank you. I just...
You and I... One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition. 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, even the power of an adeptus. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming...
So... what...
One will help her reclaim her...
She's gotta go back to being a regular
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay?
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny.
I promise, Granny.
Good girl. Good girl. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power.
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure...
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll live for...
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master.
you.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks. Was Paimon sleeping just now? Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel?
I feel... Madam Adeptus? Could I,
Oh. And have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt, but... Without that even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. I could become a cool Adeptus like you, and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuan Dai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean... Master.
you? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. If you join them, you'll never enjoy One-Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here.
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, that is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one.
Whoa! You're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only, yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on them. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it. So, what?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we...
A sensible plan. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense som...
Awesome! Thanks! Hey, didn't we promise Xingqiu that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you. By the way, Shuyu.
Sure. I don't think she'd want too many people to know.
No worries.